Welcome to the FilAfrik podcast, where African stories of social impact and entrepreneurship comes alive. On today's episode, we have a social impact leader and advocate for the homeless. She's the founder of DHB Feeds Foundation, no other person than Damilolah Hadassah. Let's dive in real quickly, right? So, because I know DHB Feeds, you've been doing a lot. I've followed your story over the months. Last year, for example, the last outreach, you reached out to over 1,000 homeless people in Canada.
Wow.
That's
in
right.
Provinces.
Yeah.
Right. So, just before we go into the details of all of that, let's hear your story. Like, how did all of this begin for you?
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you so much, FilAfrik, for having me here. This is amazing, and it's exciting to know that we have young Africans that are trying to make a difference in Canada. So thank you so much.
Following your suit.
You're following my suit. I'm the one following you guys because, you know.
1,000 people.
Like, 1,000,
Not Lagos, so Canada.
Oh my God.
Canada, brother. All right.
Okay, God is helping all of us, but still, I'm grateful to be here at FilAfrik. So you said, who is Dammy, right? Was that your question?
Yeah.
Well, very simple. My name is Dammy. I'm very young. I don't have to tell you my exact age.
Yeah.
But very young. So I moved to Canada at the age of 17. Yeah.
Yeah, 17.
At the age of 17. 17 is also very young.
Yeah, that was like last year.
Oh,
Pretty much.
okay. You know what? 17. And then, I went to school here in Canada, and schooling was hard because I literally sent myself through school in Canada. Yeah, I did. I sent myself through nursing school 4 years, actually 5 years, because I got in as a biology student, and I wanted to study medicine after that. But then a friend of mine advised me and said, you know what, you should. It's okay to study biology, but what's your plan after biology? Because the thing is, you are on a student permit before you transition to a working permit, and then get your PR, and you have to be a PR before you can attend med school in Canada. And not just that, or else you pay international student fee. So I'm like, you know what, I don't have the money anyway. I was actually struggling to get myself to undergrad.
Serious?
Yeah, I did. I sent.
I'm just looking at you and your impact and trying to correct.
Oh, okay. Anyway, you asked for my background.
Yeah, that's important.
So after I was done with my undergrad, I was so happy. I came at the top of the class. Wow. I know that's not what we're here for, but anyway.
You're fickle.
Came back, and then I got my PR in Canada. But the thing is, I have always wanted to make an impact, but I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how, but but one thing about me is I'm a giver. So I like to give. I like to share. Like, I can't stand you not having, and then I have. Like, I just have to share. So what I wanted.
I hope we don't come for you after this.
No, they can't come for
You
me.
say you like to share.
Because
People will start sending account numbers.
no,
Interact.
the thing is, see, we are blessed to be a blessing. So they too need to be blessed so that they can be blessing to others, not just receiving.
Preach.
Because I know they don't just want to receive; they also want to be a blessing to another.
Correct.
So that's the whole thing.
Okay.
And then, after I was done with school, but when I was in school, then I wanted to do this thing called, I think they call it layaway, something like that. So it's basically, if you don't have money, you go to the grocery store, you pay in bits, and then when you're done the payment, then you can come and take your groceries. Oh yes.
You pay in advance, small.
So you literally pay in advance, small. Let's say, for example, now you want to buy a furniture and you don't have the money to get a furniture.
Okay.
So basically what you do is you come, put down a payment, and then until you're able to complete that payment, then you come and take that furniture.
Oh, wow.
So, and then there was one person that really inspired me to do that, was Tyler Perry. So there was a time Tyler Perry literally, I think he went to a grocery store in America and paid all of the layaway for every one of them. So it was just like, people were like so happy that, oh my God, literally is like paying my debt. So is it debt now?
Never thought of that.
Yeah. So I wanted to do that. She'll say, okay, you know what? I'll just go and pay grocery store and people can come take their groceries. That was what I wanted to do before. But you know, if you can't give in small things, you can never give in big things. So there's nothing like until I have, even with the $10 that you have, if you have a spirit of generosity, you will spare something. Yeah. So basically that was how I started my journey in Canada. And then when I was done with school and then I got my PR and everything, and God blessed me, and you know, He's still blessing me. And then I was like, no, I have to find a way to give back. Even though there was a lot of critiques like, oh, so what are you doing in Canada? So you're helping the people in Canada, whereas back home, you know, there are people, and I'm like, no.
This is a matter.
Yeah, people say that a lot, and I feel like, in fact, I've heard at least 3 people tell me that thing.
Oh, really?
That sometimes I'm like, but the thing is, this is literally this is where I am.
Yeah, this is like your home now.
This is my home. This is where I went to school. This is where, exactly, this is me. So it has to start from here, even if it's going to go anywhere. It has to spring up from here. So basically, that's Dammy in a nutshell. I don't know if there's anything else we want to add, but that's Dammy.
That's beyond the nutshell. Dammy depth.
Yeah, that was a nice sharing, actually. To know, I never knew of that small thing.
The lion. Yeah. There's something called lion. Let me see.
Okay, that's good to hear. So, so how has it been? I think you've mentioned some of the challenges already running this. So, what would you say is one of your major challenges apart from the critics? Okay, you're checking it online.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's your major? Apart from people criticizing you and all that, what's another challenge you faced?
When you don't have somebody that is doing what you want to do, it can be very challenging.
Yes, there's no model to copy.
Yeah, there is nothing like, because I looked around, I searched, I'm like, who is actually doing this kind of NGO? There can be many NGOs, but the one that is solely focused on Christ and has all these things. And I really searched, I truly did. And I was hearing the ones from afar, but nothing that is like around me that I can say, this person can be my mentor in this particular thing. So I just say, you know what, I'll read books, I'll study what I can study, and then I'll go from there. Another challenge that I faced was, I think, okay, let me take it from the beginning, is that the dream was not a small one. So I thought I could do it by myself. As I was like, oh, what is it, you know? And meanwhile, I know I didn't say this backstory. It wasn't that I just wake up one day and say, today, I've decided that I want to face
let people hear that one.
A part of homelessness. Or today I decided that this is what I wanted to do. You know, there's something, purpose and assignment in life. I'm a Christian and I believe in God, and I have a relationship with God. I'm literally Jesus' disciple. Like I'm a Jesus baby girl for life, no turning back. Hello. So I believe that in the cause of you know, me living through life and God blessing me and everything, I was in a place of prayer that day. I can never forget. And then it just dropped in my heart. And I wrote everything down that, you know, I felt like God was telling me to do. The amount of people, the dates, and dates, and there were 3. The first person was international students, and then there were single mothers, and then there was the homeless people. And then I had the dates. And then I was struggling with it. I was like, you know what? I will just get to it whenever I get to it. It doesn't have to be done now, because 200 international students, 100 homeless people, and 100 single mothers, and 1,000 homeless. I'm like, that is a lot. I can't even, and I was at work. I was like, no, I'm busy. I'll get to it. And then I shared it with one of my friends, and I was like, you know what? Something God laid on my heart to do, and I've been praying about it, and I don't know how to go about it. So so that day, I was actually in British Columbia. I went for a short vacation, and I had a conversation with her that same evening that I was going to leave. Let's say I was leaving the second day, the night before. And then I shared it with her. I'm like, well, I just wanted to just let you know that God really laid this thing on my heart, and I've been thinking about it, and I just thinking about it. And I was supposed to leave the next day. Meanwhile, I just shared it so casually, like nothing attached to it. I was no expectation, nothing. And then before I left that morning, I was at the airport already, ready to go. And then I saw an alert of $3,000. And I was like, Kwano, $3,000 for what? So immediately I gave her a call. I'm like, thank you for giving me money or what? Why would you give me that? Knowing that we were together. Oh, yeah, she said, I could not sleep the whole night. You told me. And I said, you could not sleep. Why? She said, I wanted to hold the money, but I could not hold it and I could not sleep. And I didn't have peace. He said, could you not tell her when you were leaving this money? I don't even know how to really relate. He said, and I'm like, I didn't notice anything. And she said, because I can't. I just had to send it the money. And then I told her, I said, the money wasn't for you. It was just for me to say, I need this done now.
Wow.
And then I said, okay. And then and one thing about me is I like to share things like that. So, especially to my friends. So I call another one of my friends. We've not even started talking about homelessness and these things. She just, from nowhere, oh my God, because she's a student in fashion. She's like, there's nothing fashion right now. Students are really looking for what to eat. Things are really hard for people in fashion. I'm like, I was literally driving. I have not told her. And I was like, oh my God.
Another confirmation
that this needs to be done.
Right.
And then, of course, I told my pastor. And my pastor was like, yes, we're doing it. And I was like, oh, this is true. This is happening. And just like that, God did not just bring the financial resources. He brought human resources. Right. There were people that were willing to say, let's do this. So literally, that was how DHB Feeds Foundation started.
Because I was literally going to ask her how she's been coping with volunteers. Because again, with some of the work we do in community, we find sometimes it's always pretty difficult to get people to volunteer their time, to do things like this. Because like you said, you already reached 200 students,
international students,
100
single mothers. Yeah,
I saw some of the clips and all. 1,000 homeless one. Yeah, in December. Again, it was mind blowing because
you thought it wasn't gonna be done.
No. This is a FilAfrik podcast, but I know personally
like that.
I was a part of it. So, and I knew the process from, should I say, an insider-outsider perspective, right? But then it wasn't still like you literally understood every single thing that went down. The 1,000. And again, it wasn't just in one city.
No.
Right. It was in.
So here, London, Ontario, and then GTA, which was like Toronto, Brampton, and just around that area. I think Peel region also around that area. And then we went to BC, Abbotsford in British Columbia.
So you were just like giving them food or gift cards or what?
So actually, I think you should put a picture of what was given to everyone.
Yeah, we can.
So literally for the international students, they got things in like a big bag. So there was like 8 kilos of rice, there was like a pancake, there were like cereal. So everything that each person get, I think it was roughly $180 for 200 people. And then for the single mothers, it was in a box. And it was actually a big box. And I think it was around that area too. And then for the 1,000 homeless people, in one bag, I think it cost like nothing less than maybe $130.
So I remember quite a few things that were in there.
Yeah, we gave them winter hat, we gave them mittens, we gave them a blanket.
Interesting.
And it's just, water bottle that was like custom made. Like, it wasn't small things that they got. We gave them like, of course, we tried to give them like a church brochure or something around them, because what we've been doing is we partner with churches for volunteers and venue.
Makes sense. I already see some of your strategies. It's really inspiring because you can tell she's not only working just by herself and with a few volunteers, she's involving churches, right? Getting them to also be
it's a collaboration with churches.
End of the day, it's God's vision.
Yeah, literally. So what we're doing, it's DHB Feeds Foundation. And so the feed is in two parts. There is a physical feed and there's a spiritual feed. Okay. So we're not just making it like coming to give you social work. It's a social work, but that's not the underlying thing. The aim is to bring every man to Christ. And even the homeless people matters.
Sure.
Their soul is being needed at the kingdom. So there has to be a strategy to get them.
Okay.
They might not just be people you invite to church that will come, but there are people that we can take the gospel to. So one of the ways we take it to is that this foundation helps to do that. We pray Monday to Friday. You've been part of our prayers.
Pray with them?
calling me out on this episode.
You pray with the homeless?
So
there's a team of people
Okay.
that we started this prayer since January.
Oh.
January last year. Yeah. So literally what we're doing is we pray 10 Eastern time, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. just interceding for these homeless people.
Oh, wow. That's
interceding.
That's a lot.
We still held the prayer last night, just interceding for these homeless people.
So you can say this is like a calling for you.
Yes, I can say that because I believe that there's a
ministry.
There's a pulpit ministry there's a pulpit calling and there's a parabolic calling. Because not everyone will get to hold the microphone and stand on the pulpit.
For people that don't understand. What do you mean by parabolic?
Parabolic. Because pulpit ministry just means that maybe you're pastoring a church and then you have a congregation.
Yes.
Parabolic mean you might not necessarily have a congregation, a church.
Okay.
But maybe you're called into help ministry, into kindness evangelism. You're just out there.
Okay.
You're out there to bring the lost soul into the church.
Right.
And then the pastor teaches them how to behave when they get to church.
Interesting. That's nice.
I'll find my place in this college.
This is our bishop.
Okay.
He already has a calling.
Well, right now
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything right now.
Why?
I'm not saying anything.
That's really interesting because one thing I was going to add, I was going to ask about, some of your plans for 2025. But then before we get there, it's funny how Don Raf just touched a little bit of what I was going to ask. Because the passion, the zeal, and the precision and you're rightly dividing the word of truth. I'm like, am I sitting beside pastor? But
I'm not sitting here.
Let's know. So, but that's fine. It's okay. Yeah. I know you're
parabolic.
Parabolic ministry.
Parabolic ministry.
Make sure you find your ministry either on the pulpit or
You're parabolic. Exactly.
Nice. So, you've been praying. You've had volunteers. How do you keep them going? Like, what's the motivation?
Exactly. Since they are volunteers,
because some of us need to learn. Several people, who do several things, can also learn from how you've been keeping these volunteers motivated.
Well, I think the first thing is when you recognize what your calling is, for the full fulfillment, there has to be prayers. Like there is nothing that I'm doing that is my power or that is me. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's not about me. It has never been about me. So it is literally God providing the resources, not me, literally. So mostly what I realize is when I tell people about this vision, they are just excited about it. Like, I want to be part of it. That is mostly what I hear from people. There have been people that have heard that, let me go and think about it. And so those ones, I don't even bother myself. Like, it's fine. Like, you can't stop what God is doing. Because God literally told me that this foundation is leading to a foundation that I'm building. So this foundation that is a small one is something God wants to use.
For something bigger.
Yeah, so it's not about, what I'm doing now or what is happening in this foundation now or the level of growth that we're experiencing. So for the volunteers and everything, I'm very open with it. Okay. Number one, this is a godly foundation. There's been a time where I say, okay, can Muslims be part of it? Can this be part of it? Absolutely. You can be part of it, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that I will not change the policy of this foundation because of your own belief.
Okay, so even if a Muslim joins, you have to be open to pray with us.
Exactly, that kind of thing. So you have to be open. It's just like saying this is a church and there are Muslims or mosque around. That's okay, let's change the policy of the mosque so that we can do that. Yeah. So as a Muslim, you can still come to church. That's fine. So the same thing with this foundation. Anybody can be part of it. It's the mission and the values of this foundation is like open. And of course, we've not gone that global and we will still go global. But mostly, I think one of the things that people see is that they know who Dammy is. You know how you say that sometimes you don't have to be the one to preach Jesus, your actions, who you are will preach. Yes. So once they know, okay, I know this person, then I can trust this person. Yes, okay, I know this person, so I can release my money. Okay, I know this person, I can trust this person with my time. That kind of thing. So I think it also has to do with that part also. Personality. So personality. So people are really watching. So if you think people are not watching you, you're just hidden yourself. Because the day you will need them, they will say, I can't trust you. Because of this, because of this, because of that. So me keeping them, one, I don't think it's by my power. I think they recognize that what God is doing here.
Yeah.
And then I want to be part of it. So I don't have to but even the prayers, it's not easy to keep people saying, let's pray.
Like 1 hour. That's
1 hour, Monday to Friday. Even before, I said it was Monday to Saturday. That was what I said before.
And people show up.
Yeah. And I'm not the only person that prays, obviously, because how can I be at work and all of that? Sometimes I'm not even there.
Wow.
And then people are praying.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good. So if I hear you clearly, you're saying to anyone watching right now, just start. No matter the idea you have, you think is bigger than you, whatever it is you feel God has laid in your heart, or your skill, or whatever you have, because that's what FilAfrik is about, trying to encourage entrepreneurs, community leaders, and whatever idea you have, when they listen, people like you, they feel like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. So we're hearing from you is just start and, work on yourself, have a good personality,
character,
value, and all that, and then people will just generally come.
Yeah, because some people want to do something great in life, but they don't have integrity. They can't be trusted. And the thing is, when you are high, sometimes high is very far. So even when you're falling, you don't know you're falling. Because high is high. There are some people that,
Guys, I'm sorry, we forgot to tell you guys to bring notepad for jotting.
I'm sorry. I'm going
to be jotting, so not get it. No, continue. So,
Even I am vibrating off the chair.
You are high, but you don't know you are falling.
Exactly. There are people, there are some people that, let's say, for example, you're doing so well in life. Just because maybe God put like strong people around you and that are interceding for you or that are helping you one way or the other, you don't know that is your covering, that is your siege, that is what is helping you, and you still keep this your bad character, you still have this your bad attitude, and maybe you don't have integrity, maybe you're not honest or something. Let's say for example, you have a seamstress and then this person makes nice clothes. And this person has been recommended to a lot of people. So everybody starts sewing from this person. You became very popular, but you have one issue. You're not honest. You see, it might look like you're getting customers. It might look like people want to see you. It might look like things are happening really good. It's because you are high. But you don't know that there is a dent, small. So you're falling without even knowing. You see, by the time you get to the ground is when you realize, you thought, I thought I was doing so well. You thought you were, because high was high. It was very high. Wow. But you were already falling.
I feel you truly, because I can relate, even in terms of money. Imagine being a billionaire, you're not realizing you're losing money the thousand. Like, I still pay my bills, so you feel very cool. Only to realize one day when you're trying to write one check and the check bounces, you're like, what happened to all my ass? So I get what you're saying. That's some depth.
Yeah. So because even now that everybody seems to believe in this vision and they are volunteers and everything, if I don't keep that integrity and that humility, it's just a matter of time.
So does that give you pressure?
It doesn't give me pressure, but it keeps me humble, kind of thing.
Okay.
Because I think there is a thing of knowing that when you know that this is not by your power, there is a sense of it is not about you. And I think that is where this thing is. It's not you. Like, in fact, if there's anything, I think this foundation has taken so much from me.
Yeah, obviously.
Dealing with
and then there's always a question of who will pay you back. Because these are homeless people. These are not people that, you can be like, you know what, once they...
It's not just pay you back, even security too.
Exactly.
People might be afraid of, if they attack you.
Like,
such
instances like that, I have. And I think I have a video clip of it, actually.
Yeah. Someone attacked you.
It wasn't an attack from a person. It was an attack from their dog.
Wow.
Trying to go into their thing. What do you mean?
I didn't even see that coming.
Yeah, because I imagine that if you see people on the, homeless, there might be occasions like that, because some of them might be like maybe into drugs, and it might not be. And
we've had a lot of situations like that where, they're literally doing drugs, but we still go to them and say, give them the stuffs and everything. Like it's a mixed experience. Like there's some places you go to, they are like so excited. Oh wow, thank you so much. And then there are some places you go to is like, that kind of thing. And then there are some people that you literally go there and then they just literally open whatever is in the bag. And because last winter we gave them the blanket, and this guy literally just opened the bag as if he was waiting for that blanket and just covered himself with the blanket. And there was a situation where the people would just literally open the bag and then start eating whatever is in the bag, and then we like literally look at ourselves like literally. There was an experience that I don't think I can ever forget. So it was then there's a lot of them, but I'll try to remember as we go on. Okay. So we were in GTA, I think it was in Toronto, and then we had given everything that we wanted to give with the homeless people that gathered there. And then guess what? This guy came back. He had left. And I think maybe when he went far, that was when he opened the bag. And he walked back. Meanwhile, it was very cold because it was in December last year. And then guess what he said? Thank you so much for the toilet paper. And I was like,
everything.
His own was toilet paper.
And I was like, of everything in the bag, it's toilet paper, you have to come back. And it's not even that we put like 4, it was just one of single roll that was there. How could it be that it was a toilet paper that you had come back to say thank you? You know, assuming you opened it right there, I would have understand. He went far away. I think he was trying to go to his shelter or somewhere because it was kind of late in the evening. And then he came back, he walked back. And you know, with all of my volunteers and my teams that were there, we looked at ourselves like, he came back to say thank you for toilet paper. And you know, another thing I needed to say is everything we put in each bag, they are not just things that we just decided to put. They are things that we carefully prayed about them to say, oh yes, right?
So it was like inspired.
Yes, there is nothing that we say, okay, let's just add it for adding sake. No. There are things where, we literally take our time to pray, and then we literally say, and research, because that's another thing.
Because I was going to ask, talking about research, because I know you're a nurse, and I was going to ask if that also comes into play with how you strategize and plan.
Yes, it does. It does. My profession helps me a lot too, in terms of the wisdom, the experience that I get from it to help out to. Because one of the things I want DHB to do, or that is being right now, is to solve problems. Because problem solving in the society is very important, because everything that we have, God has given it to us to be able to help humanity. So I believe that DHB Foundation find expression through that, which is problem solving. So we literally make research. I literally do like journal article research to see like what has been tested, what has been
That's some serious business.
Yeah, what has been done, and then how I can sometimes implement those things that has been done. Because there are some times where people have the idea, but they don't have the execution.
Exactly. A lot of people are like that, watching you right now. So
exactly. And the thing is, if you have the idea and you don't have execution, you don't have to have it all together. Just surround yourself with somebody that can execute.
So that's what
you don't have to be the one with the idea and also execute it. Sometimes God gives you the idea, but doesn't give you what you need to execute. So that is why we have to work together. There is there's partnership in the Bible.
Oh, yes.
Especially when the Bible said that, Peter had struggled all night and he couldn't catch a fish. Yeah. And then he went into the boat, just like Jesus told him. And then Jesus said, go and fish, and then he did. The Bible said that he called for more people because he knew he couldn't do that. You know some people that are very greedy. You want to be like, I want to do it by myself, for myself, in myself, be myself.
Yeah, I think that was, if you just referencing the Bible again, like you just mentioned, that was the story of Moses, who was doing it all by himself until his father-in-law advised him, say, guy, come.
And that guy like just a Christian. He's not a Christian.
Yeah, you will die like this. Why not call some other elders that can help you? So that's
and that was when he appointed.
Yeah, and that made his work much easier.
Yeah.
So we need people that can also advise us, and
because the cry for help, or a cry for help, is not a cry for the weak. And you're not crying for help because you're weak. You're crying for help because you want to remain strong.
Man, the wisdom coming out from this.
Because you want to remain strong.
Because you want to be strong. That's why you're crying for help.
This is tough for.
It's not because
this is tough for men.
Yeah,
like men like us that are tough. I feel like we are too tough.
Then
we start asking.
Okay, it's garnished with Africa. No, you have to.
Say it one more time.
It's ego.
Ego.
No.
It's ego, right?
The cry for help is not the cry of a weak person.
Okay, because some people might feel like,
it's to remain strong
for help? nobody give you this job to do. And now you just say you want to go and volunteer and be helping people. So why are you not crying to us?
Well, if you made it about yourself, then you will see it that way.
Okay.
But if you see that it is God's vision for you, then you will know that there is nothing God does and does alone.
Sure.
God likes to partner. Everything he does is all about, but he does it partners everywhere. So in fact, if you're doing things by yourself, it makes me to realize that you're not from God. Yes. If you feel like because how can a vision be so big and only you? No, now.
Wow.
So if you're doing it by yourself, if you don't have people you're partnering with, if you don't have people, then
I didn't expect
They are scattering table today.
because I'm just thinking and I'm like, yes, it's coming from a social impact perspective, but then there's several entrepreneurs who are watching for sure.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm hearing you say, and it's I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at FilAfrik, I'm looking at other things we're involved in, and then I'm thinking from an entrepreneurial standpoint, there's this holds true. You know, about collaboration.
Yeah, you can.
Innovation. Because if you're literally getting into the entrepreneurial journey, you're literally trying to solve a problem.
True.
So the problem obviously is beyond yourself.
Exactly.
So in the moments where you're like, business isn't what, and then you want to give up. Those are moments where you should remember, but I'm about to fix a problem. So what's that one more step I need to take? Is that one more person I need to bring on board? You know, what's that one more skill I need to learn? Because we just heard her say she still brings in her expertise into what she's doing, not just because, oh yeah, I can put people together and you know, so you consider all of these things and then you certainly, you know, be successful. So just to get things going, because again, we can go on because there's a lot, you know, coming from you. Your vision for the year 2025, I understand, is to reach 5,000
people.
So I'll ask you a few questions, hoping you can put them all together. How did we go from 1,000 to 5,000? That's one, you know, and what's the scope like? You know, last year you were in 2 provinces. What's the scope like? Are we looking at one province for the 5,000 or the entirety of Canada? Or like, you know, just put it together for us. And let's also know in one bit too, how can anyone listening also be a part of what you're doing too?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. It is true. Going from literally, I think it's over 1,300 because there's 200 international students.
Okay.
There was 100 single mothers and there was 1,000 homeless people. And literally, that was in 2024. And this year we said, nope.
Going 5,000.
We're going 5,000.
Okay.
So personally.
And you know, another thing is, maybe somebody hearing that 5,000 will be like, oh, that means she has what it takes. She has everything. That's why, you know, that, you know, there's money somewhere or something. The truth of the matter is faith is the currency that I spend. And another thing is...
faith over fear.
Faith over fear, that's right.
Yes.
Faith over fear. Because if you have a vision and you can handle the vision, then I question if it's from God. Because where will that your faith grow? When? Where? What will test that faith? What will make it strong? How would you be able to say, okay, I did this, I did that, but how would you not even say, I did this, I did that, and not God did this, God did that? Because it would just be based on your capacity, your ability. Excuse me, somebody who said the ways in heaven are tiles, right?
Yeah.
Tiles. Can you say with gold, right?
Gold, yeah.
Okay, so even if I run out of resources, it's for him to give me one of those gold in heaven, you know, to do this, basically. But what am I trying to say is that, so going from 1,000, over 1,300 to 5,000 the next year, it was also inspired in a scripture.
Okay.
Where Jesus fed 5,000 people.
Yeah.
So I think that scripture just kind of jumped out to me and said, and you know, when I said that, I was telling my very good friend, best friend, which happens to be my sister now. You know, I told her, and then I laughed when we were talking.
You have brother?
I have brother too. I have brothers.
We should open an application.
I have brothers too.
Okay.
And then when I told, and then I laughed. I was like, you know what? We will do whatever we can do, and then we'll leave the rest. You know, the same attitude I had the first time. And I was like, when will you grow, Dammy? When? If you just keep... I said, you know what? Lord, on your word, I'll do it. on your word, knowing that I am not alone, because there's a thing in doing things alone. You know on this journey that you're alone, and then you're still alone. But knowing that God is with me, I will do it. And then, of course, I went to talk to my pastor about it, that, okay, listen, this is what I believe that the Spirit of God. And it's like, oh, yes. He's always like very supportive. Let's do it. That kind of thing. Literally, that was, and I said, okay, you know what? Let's do it. And then this time we're going to go to 5 different provinces.
Oh, okay, 5,000, 5 different provinces.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
And we're going to go to the province that people don't even go to on a regular day.
Like,
Does it exist in this our Canada?
Yeah.
so there are provinces people don't go to.
People don't like to go there.
Really? Why?
Number 1, Nunavut.
Oh, okay. So we're coming for you.
Yeah, Nunavut. Nunavut.
Why?
Why Nunavut? Because the thing is, Jesus went deep to get these people now. So we
I'm
have
saying
to.
why people don't go to. Just in
Number
case
1,
people
it's
are-
cold. Nunavut is very cold. And number 2, there's a lot of Aboriginal people, the First Nation people that live there. So like most people don't like to go to those, and it's not as Western
Okay.
as Toronto and all this area.
Yeah.
So people don't go there. So their population there, I think, is like 40-something thousand or so, if I'm right.
I don't know the data off my head, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
It's very
It's not this thing. So people don't like to go there, but we,
I want to go there.
DHB Foundation, will go there to go and be a blessing to those.
So a seed.
Yeah. So we're going to Nunavut. We're going to, of course, Ontario. We're here. We're going to Alberta. We're going to Saskatchewan, and then we're going to PEI, Prince Edward Island.
I know there's a lot about PI, but probably save that for another episode. Yeah. Because this lady was baked in PI. Pretty much. Yeah, so,
The idea basically is that a lot of people want to do things or have this idea, and just like you had that challenge, you didn't have someone who you could model what you're trying to do, right? So go through the steps. I want to start an NGO in Canada.
Okay.
What should I do? How do I go about registration? For some people, this sounds so big. Like, so what's the step? What should I do? How do I start the foundation? Do I register it? Is there money to be paid? Like, what's the basic steps? And then,
Okay. So basic steps to having your own foundation is very simple. It's a little tedious, but it's doable. The first thing, what would you like to do?
Okay.
Let's answer the what question.
That's your purpose.
What is it? Is it that you care about mothers? Is it that you care about young ladies?
Okay.
Is it that with all this immorality going on, is it touching you that you feel like you want to create a sexual awareness to girls? Is it to high school? And I'm giving you all this is so that just in case you've been thinking about them, this will be a confirmation for you. Is this something that you've been thinking about that is burning in your heart that, maybe you were able to keep yourself and then all of a sudden you see things happening, you're like, how can I be of help? Is it that? Whatever that might be, you need to first of all have a purpose. What is the problem that you want to solve? The what question. And when you know the what question, it will help us to answer the how question. Because if you don't know what you want to do, then how are we going to know how to help you? Exactly. So the what question, know what you want to do, and be confident about it. Be confident about it. And too much planning kills a dream. Stop planning. You've been planning.
Nuggets too much.
You've been planning and you're planning and you're planning to do this, you're planning to be that. Let's leave planning, let's do.
Okay.
Just, I don't know, I'm a very spontaneous person. I can just wake up in the morning now and decide something. I'm not saying you should be like that. But what I'm trying to say is that it's time to execute. Now that you have all these things done, the next question is, how do you do it? Okay, now, would I say, okay, just because, you know what to do, then go straight ahead and register NGO? Maybe we won't jump to that step quite yet. But the next thing to do is you find around you who has the same like mind like you. Okay. There has to be 1 or 2 person. There has to be
partnership.
Exactly, that's where it comes in. And the thing is, it doesn't have to mean that, at the get-go, they support you. There are people like that it takes time for them to get there. Yeah. But you have to find at least 1 person around. You could be your parents, it could be, your friend, it could be anyone. It could be your brother, your siblings, anyone around you. In fact, it could be maybe a schoolmate.
Yeah.
Somebody that just tell this person this dream and say, okay, this is what I want to do. And the third thing I will also say is that try as much as possible to start small. Start small.
Don't go and say you want to start to feed 5,000 people on the first day.
Start small. In fact, another thing about this 1,300 I was fed last year, it wasn't even that I started with 1,300. Somebody told me and said, instead of starting with 1,300, why not start with 50 people? That was what somebody told me. And then I said, makes sense. So, and I went back to pray because I knew the idea came from God. And God told me is that, so you don't know that you have outgrown 150 people. You don't know that you have outgrown 50 people. So which to tell you that this thing is not something that I started now.
You've been doing it.
Exactly. It has always been done. It's just that it's just moving forward now. So if you really feel like, for example, maybe you really want to reach young girls and stuff, and you don't have any young girls around you are talking to.
Yeah, you've not even started inspiring or mentoring some people around you.
Exactly. You've not, because the thing is, you can't hide. If you're good at something, someone must have commented on it.
So that's like a way of even knowing.
Of knowing.
That's what to start with.
Somebody will have been like, oh my God, you're really good at this. Or thank you so much for the advice you gave me. It really worked. Small, you will have been seeing some signs instead of just all of a sudden going to do NGO. Because
Something somewhere.
Because if you appear suddenly, you will disappear suddenly. So just because other people are doing NGO and then you feel like, you know what, let me also go and open. It gives it. No, because it will take a lot from you. The days when you don't feel like doing, I wonder what will keep you going.
Okay. So now we have rewards, partnership and all.
So the next thing will now be, now that you know what you're doing, you have partnership, you know the people, and now you've been doing it, now it's time to move to, because I believe in life development and I believe in growth. Yeah. You have to grow. You were not like this 20 years ago. You grew. So the same thing, God expects you to grow in everything around you. So you have to grow. So you have to now take it from that level to say, now I'm ready to open an NGO. Now I have prayed. If you're a Christian, now I strongly believe in my heart that it is time to move. And then what do? You have a name. Because you need to have a name. Because what are you registering? Make sure you find the name. I don't know how you're going to get it. You probably maybe have something in your mind already. If you need to pray to get it, you can pray to get it. If you need an advice from people, you can get an advice from people. And then what do you do next? Once you have a name and then you have your mission and you have your values, because the thing is, your personal values, which we have a lot of impact on your business. Your personal value is what will influence it the most. In fact, your personal value is directly proportional to the result you will get from your business. That's your value.
It was just an episode.
This
is more than an episode.
Maybe it should have been a series.
Really?
Because you have a lot.
The masterclass is on point.
Okay, so now we have
So now you have your values, you have your mission statement written out, your values and everything written out. Then why not? Go ahead. Even in Canada, it's very simple.
Okay, what's the process?
To register an NGO. I believe everybody have access to CRA here, because if you're in Canada, then you're definitely paying tax.
Okay.
Right? Somehow. And FilAfrik too was registered. So why are you guys leaving me on this?
No. We have the spotlight here. You're looking at NGO. So a lot of people are like,
so what is
they might be here for
an NGO?
Well, you are the one on the hot seat.
It's really hot.
Yeah. So how do we do the CRA?
Yeah, so you go to CRA and then there's a link everywhere. Just Google. And there are different categories, I believe. In NGO, there's one that deals with poverty. There's one that deals with, so you literally select. So, I think I've heard that people just want to start as charity. But I think in Canada, you have to start as being an NGO. Non-for-profit. And then you... as time goes by. Yeah. So we can put the link.
Sure.
The CRA link. Yeah. We can put it on so that people can...
Yeah, sure. We can do that in the description.
And then once you have that, and then it asks you different questions, you have directors. Very important. Because I think you need a minimum of, is it 2 or 3 directors?
I believe you. 2 or 3,
something like that. So have directors, and basically there are people you should be able to trust trust. And one of the biggest things you also need to know, especially with people, because basically if you're registering an NGO and it's just trying to say that you have assumed a leadership position, that's what that means, that you're a leader. So you need to know that as a leader, you lead, you don't lord, because that's two different things. So basically, and a leader should have a spirit of forgiveness. So if you want your whatever you're doing to last, if you want to have a long-lasting impact, you have to learn to forgive. If not, the partnership will not last. Because you didn't give birth to those people, and then you always expect that they do what you tell them to do. So you need to learn how to lead with wisdom, because sometimes, and it's amazing, in DHB Foundation, I am the youngest.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
It's amazing.
So you just have...
My teams, right? Okay. My teams, I'm the youngest. That's my team. So that's to tell you that, to be able to lead this adults, it takes a lot of wisdom, literally. But another thing is, I don't even see myself as a lord of, literally, I see more of, these are my team. These are the people that I work with. These are the people that will labor in God's vineyard for God's work to be done. So I see it more in that aspect than saying that, no. So for me, it's easy for me because I know that, if you don't, because I literally say it to some people, if you don't do the work of Jesus, it will not hold me. It's you we hold. Because we're supposed to work together to achieve.
Keeps them motivated.
Yeah, because we're supposed to work together to achieve the work of God. So if you are delaying it, just know that it is you.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they are wise enough to know that this is the intention behind this movement. So they're not thinking of it in a negative way, that, that's one out. Because they know that we're all about our Father's business. Very open communication. Very important.
Interesting.
There are days where it's a little wobbly, though.
Yeah, of course. That happens. That's life. Wow, but this is a lot. I think this episode has been fire, really.
And then you now register your NGO.
Of course.
That's it. You get working, and then we love to see you. We love to meet you, and then we can collaborate together in the future, because
collaborate.
There is a lot of harvest. There is a lot of things that should be done, that needs to be done.
Yeah.
So many lives to be touched.
Because that collaboration part, because that's what FilAfrik is about. Basically, we also help entrepreneurs, people with ideas, to connect them with the right people, to have that collaboration spirit, like the community thing. So we want to be in the midst of that greatness. Let's all be in a room and we are doing things, and we're like, oh wow, we're all working together. Just like you said, the harvest is there's a lot of harvest, and the sky can take everybody. So yeah, so if you feel like it's overwhelming, you can just reach out to, they can reach out to you.
Absolutely.
You're like, I want to collaborate with you, even in the 5,000. Can we even make it 10,000? So I can collaborate with you. So yeah, that's the spirit we are looking at. So don't just watch this as So some people might not be in the forefront, but they can also support backend. So that can be your own calling as well. Some people, God has told them, do this. They just support different great things, So if that's what your own calling is, look at people like her and also support and see how we can make 5,000, 10,000 and reach more people.
Absolutely. It will be a great honor, for people to partner with us. There's a thing that, where you can't reach, your money can get there. If you can't get there, your money can't get there. So basically, and what we're doing this year for the homeless people, I don't know if you can put a picture of that, what we have in on. And the thing is, between last year and this year, DHB Foundation has grown so much. It's actually amazing, the growth that we have experienced. It's 2 years this year. So literally just started last year. And this year will make it 2 years. And it's amazing. Yes, the growth that we have experienced, and counting blessings, the blessing of people. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing how people are willing to be part of this thing that, God is doing. So I also encourage you to please, be part of us.
Yeah.
Just imagine that you're being a blessing to an homeless people out there. I don't think there's any feeling that is greater than knowing that there's somebody out there that you're being a blessing to. There's somebody out there that you're praying for. to say that may they regain their senses, may their sanity. There's somebody out there. It doesn't matter, as small as $20, as small as $100. $100 is big. You shouldn't say small.
Yeah. I mean, nothing is too small.
Nothing is too small. I think that's the word. Nothing is too small, because $5 is not even too small.
Yeah.
So that you don't think I'm spoiled.
All right, so let's wrap it up. So, because I know if we keep you can go for 2 hours straight up, because you have a lot. We can see that you have a lot. So
we're coming back.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we hear the news of how she fed the 5,000 when we come back and all that. So,
there's a lot to touch on. I know she has some accolades in
Alberta, the outreach for Alberta is June 21st.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is what we're reaching out to 1,000 homeless people in Alberta. So it's not too late. You can still be part of us.
Yeah. So how can they reach you? How can they support you? How can they meet you?
Okay, we have social media handles. You can reach us on Instagram.
Okay.
We are DHB Feeds on Instagram.
D what? Spell?
DHB.
DHB.
Yeah.
Feeds.
Yeah, Feeds.
F-E-E-D-S. Okay.
So that is who we are. So you can reach us on Instagram. You can send us a message on Instagram, and we'll respond to you. And just recently, just because a lot of people are asking, how do we support? And sometimes people find it a little bit of a long thing to start sending from their Interact. So what we decided to do, we decided to create a GoFundMe, so that way it's easy. But our website is coming up very soon, but is literally www.dhbfoundation.org.
Okay.
So dhbfoundation.org. Okay. Basically, that's our website, and it's coming up very soon. I think you should be able to, when you go there, you should still be able to see things right now. Yeah, dhbfoundation.org. That is our website. We're still actively working on it, but you should be able to see something when you go to the website. Good. And then, of course, you can give through Interact. You can. Those are the ways that you can support us. When you do that, we like to stay connected. That's another thing. Okay. We want you to stay connected with us, because the reason why I said this, because whatever community or whatever space you are in, DHB Feeds can come there. So it is one of the ways. Let's stay connected. So that way, let's say, for example, we decided to go to Manitoba, and you're in Manitoba, so you can literally be a part of us, and then we'll work with you. In Manitoba. So because the goal is to reach out to every province in Canada, and not just that, globally, because guess what? We're going global. So this is a movement. You should be part of it.
From Canada to the rest of the world.
Yes, we're going, and we're moving very fast.
Join the movement.
We're moving very fast. Yes. Yes.
Okay. This has been interesting. So, Patrick,
it's what more can I say? If Dammy's story has been, if the story has been inspiring, which I do know it is inspiring, right? You've heard her. You've heard all of us see this. Just hop on. There's no need sleeping on that vision. There's no need sleeping on that dream. That help you're supposed to be rendering. Like, don't wait one more day. Just get to it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. In terms of collaboration, like she said, you have people around you to help you. You have family. You have friends. And if for any reason you feel you don't have people, please do reach out to us.
Yes.
We would certainly hold you by the hand, and ensure you're being everything you're designed to be, right? And it's amazing to have you on today's episode, really. Dammy. The nuggets they've just been coming, they've been pouring out, just like the Bible's out of your belly, rivers of living water has been flowing. These nuggets are coming. If you appear suddenly, you disappear suddenly. I said that part, and I'm like, there's no way I am forgetting it. So please make sure you don't appear suddenly. So that you don't
suddenly.
Appear prepared. So you can stay put, right? So pretty much,
Thank you so much.
Because there's a process to it, right?
Thank you.
There's a process.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. It's such an honor.
We'll be back.
It's such an honor to be here.
All right. Final words.
Final words. Okay. Well, my final words. First, I want to say thank you, FilAfrik, for this great opportunity. because I don't take it for granted. Actually, I'm really humbled and I'm grateful to my brothers. 'Cause these are my brothers. So thank you. And it can only get better.
Sure.
Yes, and it can only grow because there is a humble beginning. Yeah. Even though our beginning might be small, you know.
Don't say anything small about this beginning. This looks like so mindfully grew the work and it prevailed.
Guys, if
That is another level.
if we continue, we will not grow. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening and subscribe,
Make sure you subscribe.
like, comment, and please try and follow
DHB
her,
Feeds.
please. And she's always open to collaborate. Like you said, please.
So if you have any question or anything, just reach out. Serious-minded people, please.
Okay.
Please.
They should not ask for your interact. They should not give you their interact. They should just you a giver now.
That was not what I said. But okay, you know what? What I'm saying is, be ready to start.
Right.
Be ready to start. Say that you're ready.
Teachable too.
And some people are not accountable. Be teachable and be accountable. Because some people don't want them to be held responsible for what they've done.
Guys, like what we said, if we stay here, she will continue. She's really loaded and passionate, and is actually amazing hearing you speak. Dammy, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. My name is Don Raf, and this is Patrick, and bye.
Bye.